Hello, vinyl community. This is Mike with T-Cat's Deep Vinyl Tracks, and we're doing a video today. This is a response to Brian at the Embryonic Robot channel. He did a tag in response of all the tags that were being done this time of year lately. Seems like there's a lot of them out there. And he originally did it kind of as a joke, called it the difficult vinyl tag. And a lot of people have picked up on it, taken him up on his challenge to do it, I guess you could say. And I thought I would give it a try. I found out there were some things that I couldn't show, but he did say on there that you could kind of rearrange the questions or whatever to make things easier if you need to. He asked some pretty interesting questions, and some of it has to do with things that are, not readily available all the time. So I thought I would give it a try. There are a total of 10 prompts on this one instead of the usual 20. He only has you do 10, and that's a good thing, because there's a lot of interesting prompts that he puts in this. The first one is to show a CD long box. Now, a CD long box is when CDs first come out, a lot of times you would see them in these long boxes that were probably 2.5 times the length of a regular CD case. So I never kept any of my long boxes. I always threw them in the garbage. What ones I did get. So I never really kept any, but I do have some box sets that are about the same size as what those long boxes are, kind of designed off of the same the same idea, and I will show one of those in place of that particular prompt. This is a box set called They Call Me the Fat Man, Antoine Fat's Domino, and you can see how long these are. The long boxes were probably about this long, maybe even a little bit longer. Even though they only had one CD, they would take up the top half, and the bottom half was usually just a waste of space. They usually didn't even hardly put any text or anything on them. But this will kind of give you an idea. This particular box set has several discs in it and a lot of tracks. Look at all those tracks that are on there. They're the legendary Imperial recordings of Fat's Domino, and comes with a nice thick book of all the tracks that are in there. Pictures of different promotional materials that came with all of his albums. Some of the Imperial labels you can see there. Anyway, there's that, and 4 discs. There's 2 of them. There's the other 2. So that one pretty much doesn't waste any space like some of the long boxes used to do. Okay, so prompt number 2, he wants you to show a flexi disc. Flexi discs are usually worthless to me. I put them on. I think they sound terrible. I haven't had or run across that many of them, but they're kind of those floppy black pieces of thin plastic or whatever you want to call it, that you could put on a record player, and you usually tear them out of like a magazine, or sometimes they'd use them as promotional materials. Like I said, I don't have anything like that, but I thought I would change the prompt a little bit to show a kind of an interesting packaging. I'm really attracted to original and interesting packaging. I found this box in a thrift store. I had no idea what it was. You look at it, there's not much information on there. It does say overdose on it, EXO version. Anyway, what this is it's like K-pop, I believe. It's EXO-K second mini album, Overdose. And you open it up like that. Nothing on the inside there. Here you got like some kind of strange advertisement. I think you get ringtones or some kind of something like that. That's packaged in there. You also have this booklet, which actually has quite a few pictures and pages in it. I guess these are members of the band, I don't know, in various different poses. Yeah, whatever. There's no text in here at all, even if there was. You can't read it. And then you have the disc. And then you have, well, the disc, of course, just sits like this on top of this black base. There's nothing underneath its base. It's just a lot of wasted space. And the disc itself, I think, had like 3 or 4 tracks on it. I've listened to it. It's terrible. But the whole reason why I decided to keep it was just because it's just so different and original, and I'll probably never run across anything like that again. So, there's prompt number 2. Number 3, show a record with a timing strip. So a timing strip is a strip that shows a disc jockey, the different tracks that are on a record and what the timing is on them. And so you usually find them on like your demo discs on albums that were sent out to radio stations. And there's what the timing strip looks like. This one is on a copy of Journey's Infinity, and you also got your hype sticker on the top there. It doesn't, okay, there on the back it shows for promotion only, so it's got the gold stamp. Everything else looks basically the same. You know, the inner sleeve looks the same as what you would get on the regular album, but it is a white label. So at one time, I remember when I first started collecting, those white labels were quite a big deal. Now, you know, they sometimes will be worth a little bit more, usually because the white labels were always the first ones off the presses, so they always sounded the best. You know, it's usually suggested you ever see one to pick it up, because they are rarer than the original, than the, you know, the ones that were available to the public. So, Journey Infinity. Number 4 prompt is a live LP or CD where you were in the audience. Well, I don't have anything like that at all. All the shows I've been to were never recorded except for one, and that was for My Morning Jacket and Band of Horses was the opening band. That was in Toronto. Not the Molson Arena, but right next to the Molson Arena there. They had a big stage set up and great concert and everything that was actually released digitally at one time. I have no physical copy to show you or anything like that, but that's the closest thing I could come up with for an answer to that one. Number 5, show a record that is not in Discogs. So I have a couple of them, and this one I just got just recently in a kind of a surprise box. I had no idea what was in the box, and that is this album called Fandango Number 2. This is a local band. You won't find this particular album in Discogs anywhere, and I did give a listen to this. If you've watched my channel, you probably seen me show this one when I first got it, and it's actually not a bad record. You know, it's well recorded, has a good sound to it, and it does not appear in any Discogs listing in any way whatsoever. And I'm not going to put it in Discogs because you never know when I may be able to use that same prompt somewhere along the way. Just hang on to it for being that you can't find in Discogs. You never know. Number 6, show the same record on 2 different formats. Well, I kind of made a little adjustment on this one just to make it a little more interesting. The record I'm showing is Beck's Odelay. Great album by Beck. And there's the back of it if you're interested. The reason I'm showing this one is there's a track on here called The New Pollution. Right there. And I've got it on vinyl, but I've got the CD single on CD. This is a 3-track single, and it contains the LP version of The New Pollution, the same one that's on that record. But it also has a remix by Aphex Twin called Richard's Hairpiece. It is a remix of that particular song. And then there's a previously unreleased track on here. I think you can find it on some of the Beck rare collaborations, or not collaborations, but collections that you can find out there. And it's called Electric Music and the Summer People. Quite an upbeat and nice song. So there you go. One song, both on LP and on a CD. 2 formats. Okay, show an album with all the singles from that album. I don't have a lot of singles because I'm pretty picky at what singles I pick up. Mainly because I usually just want singles that are a little harder to find. And usually that have the picture with it. This unfortunately does not have a picture. It's just a white 45, but the album is the Dr. Hook debut album. I showed this just recently. It does have the one single release that came off of this was Sylvia's Mother, and there you go, Sylvia's Mother. There's the single from that particular album. The flip side is Carry Me Carry, which was off of a different album, I believe. Yeah, August 1972, where Sylvia's Mother was released in February of 1972. So Carry Me Carry must have been on their second album, which was called Sloppy Seconds, by the way. Number 8. Show a record bundled with a CD or like with an EP, or there's several different things. Just, you know, if it's bundled with a single. I've got all that kind of stuff. I wanted to show one that doesn't get shown ever. The only channel I've ever seen this on is my own. But this is an album by a band or project called Fovea Hex. Fovea Hex is made up of Clodas Simmons, who is a female singer. She was around back in the late 60s. She released a couple of records under the band name something about a candle. I can't think of the name of it though. Just seeing if it's here on the bio anywhere. I don't see that. But anyway, what this is Fovea Hex is kind of like an experimental folk project. She's got a beautiful voice. The music here is very beautiful, kind of ambient. She sings on a lot of her regular records. This particular record here, though, was mastered for vinyl by Steven Wilson, of course, from Porcupine Tree. He says, and it comes off of a couple of extended remixes from the Salt Garden. The Salt Garden was a series of albums put out by Fovea Hex. So what he's done is gone ahead, and Steven Wilson has remixed a couple of tracks to make up this particular album. Now, I say all that because not only did it come with the vinyl, which is right there on clear vinyl, but it also came with a disc. The vinyl only has 2 tracks on it. The disc has those 2 tracks plus 2 extra tracks. It has both of the Steven Wilson remixes, and then the third one is a remix by Abdul Mogard, which also uses Fovea Hex's music. And then the fourth one is a shorter remix by Peter Shilvers by the Glacial Lake. That is also a remix of one of their tracks. So there you go. Really beautiful album. Love the experimental, the ambience of it, and all that. Great stuff. Number 9, show box set on different formats. I have box sets in CDs and in vinyl, but I don't have one single one on both formats, so I'm going to skip that one. I couldn't even come up with a alternative prompt for that one. And number 10, last of all, show an album that has a song on it that mentions your name, your first name. It doesn't necessarily have to be your full name. That would be a little harder to do. My first name is Mike or Michael, and there really aren't surprisingly that many albums out there with my name on it that I've found. There is a Kate Bush song that I absolutely love, but unfortunately I don't have a vinyl copy of that. So I decided to show this one. Anyway, it's Frank Zappa's Chic Your Booty. And the song that has my name on it is Broken Hearts for Assholes. So there you go. Not one you'd want to probably brag about a whole lot because of the content, and it's not very good lyrics as far as complimenting my name or anything like that. But the lyrics go, let me see if I can find them here. And so you worked the wall with Michael, 379 pounds of Samoan dynamite, which gave you back an awful strain. There you go. You can make that out to be whatever you want it to be. From reading about Frank Zappa's lyrics, it has something to do with sumo wrestlers and picking up people lined up against the wall at a disco club. So, whatever. There it is. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it would be nice to see some more people do this difficult vinyl tag. These are harder questions that make you really think, but it's interesting to see what people come up with and the kind of things they have that you don't see very often. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we will talk to you all later.